Ladies, gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to another CryptoManiacs podcast, streaming to you live everywhere. We're actually even on Facebook today, Task. I know you're really excited for that, right, Raymond? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
me and you seem to engage a lot on Facebook, so I'm like, you know what? Facebook, Zuckerberg, we love him. He's the best.
Oh, he's the best in the world.
Best. What a great guy. Raymond Speaks is back, ladies and gentlemen, from Zebro Fund, Zebro Fi, and Cine TV, and a whole bunch of the Man Cave, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for Raymond. Welcome, sir. Good to have you back. Before we dive into everything you're doing and the stuff, we got to make sure Task is okay. We always check in with him over the weekend, make sure he survived the weekend and he was okay, and he didn't sell all his crypto. You okay, Task?
It's all my crypto. I spent time on Leo Glossary. So what else is new?
He's just a man of many words. Man of many words.
Hey, the question I have is, what visit is this for Raymond on CryptoManiacs? Is this number 3, 4?
Number two. Number two.
We've only had you on twice?
No, you were our first guest, man.
Was that? Are you sure?
I think you were our first guest. And then you came back a couple of months ago.
Oh, yes, I remember.
And
then I came,
3 or 4.
This is three. That's right. Yeah, I was on the first time, and then I was on the second time when I had a few things to announce. And now, thanks to you, lovely guys, for inviting me on. I'm on a third time.
Dude, I mean, we have a whole bunch of people beating down the doors to come and come on the show. So we have to make sure we get you in there. You're the priority here, man, for sure. But good to see you, man.
Especially when you make a major announcement, you have some good stuff going on. It's always good to get you on and catch up with what you've been working on and how your plans are unfolding.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, how's world domination going, man? I mean, that's the big question.
It's going pretty well, actually. I mean, BroFi is the main thing that's kicking us off at the moment. Our complete sell liquidity bros just dried up completely now, and we had bro wars yesterday where people in the Discord were just buying up all the bro. However, there's more there now, but at a much higher price. So that BroFi is really making a dent in our liquidity. As for the fund's doing pretty well. I've been concentrating on stacking a gold deck for Splinterlands for the Chaos Legion. I want to buy all the golds, so but it's a slow process.
Not even 4 minutes in, excuse me, and we already got Splinterlands.
As long as it's not Ethereum, man. Let's talk Splinterlands.
You had wait a second, John. You had McSpadden on Tuesday last week, total Splinterlands show. Probably half of the questions on Friday were Splinterlands, and now 3 minutes 45 seconds in, John, Raymond brings up Splinterlands.
It's only a tiny little segment. I've got more important things to come along. More important things.
There's things more important than Splinterlands?
Don't tell the Splinterlands people I said that.
No, they did have a big announcement today, so
Yes, I missed that. I'll probably
Rift Watchers.
So can you tell me a little bit about that? What is that? What is Rift Watchers?
Well, do you remember when they did Untamed about a year and a half ago? They had the Untamed, and then they had that mini deck, the dice.
Pack. Oh yeah.
So that's what Rift Watchers is. It's like a mini deck. So
Okay.
yeah, that's basically what it is. So 9 days
Okay.
from now it goes on sale, and you've got to use voucher and SBS to buy these.
Okay. I'll have to make sure I buy a
So
full deck then.
yeah, man.
Or
Yeah.
So
try.
is the idea that puts more buying pressure on voucher and SPS?
That's
Yeah.
the game plan. Yeah, voucher went skyrocketing past
Yeah,
couple of
well,
days. Yeah.
I bought us a license for the Brofund, and I checked, and we got about something like a couple of hundred vouchers in their pot at the moment. And I checked it, and I was like, oh wow, it's gone, like it's doubled, maybe even tripled. It's probably tripled now. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
So there, yeah, man. So yeah, I mean, listen, I could bore people to death by speaking Splinterlands for the next hour.
I'm very, very pro Splinterlands as well. It's made us a lot of money and continues to make us a lot of money. So, I mean, as far as I'm aware, the next part of the roadmap next year is all going to be Splinterlands because, like, we have got a tract, and I'm stacking the gold cards for that track. I'll tell you, bro devs are going to be epic. But anyway, yeah. So. How is it going in world domination? So yeah, Splinterlands is going pretty well. Brofi is going pretty well. We've also kicked off a new initiative, which is Dragon's Den. I don't know if you two guys have heard of that. You heard that task? You look a bit.
You faded out on me.
Like you're talking Dragon's Den from the UK and Canada.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So like
it's Shark Tank, basically.
Shark Tank, basically, yeah. So people come in, pitch their projects, and people with money go, yeah, I'll have a bit of that, or I'll not have a bit of that. So we've had about 2 projects on so far, so we're hoping to get new and exciting ideas, people. New and exciting ideas.
Well, yeah. I like that because I mean the pathway isn't something that I would have chosen, but I think ultimately my view is if we step back, cryptocurrency, for it to really make a statement and to really move into the realm of penetration of adoption, I think one of the things cryptocurrency has to do is actually fund real world projects and real world ideas, and not just be, well, I take my cryptocurrency and I invest in this card or this NFT or this, not that there's anything wrong with that, or swap it out for this token, where we actually take cryptocurrency and Brayman says, I have an idea of a business and we invest in that. We become a funding mechanism for these type of projects.
That's I'm looking for that as well. I'm even looking for, in the future, I'm even looking for land for us to own, basically. So I mean, I'd have to speak to people who know what they're talking about. But I mean, I'm looking at all sorts of avenues for the fund to grow and gain wealth. Yeah.
You're a legend, man. Like I mentioned to you the other day, dude. I mean, like a lot of times people ask. Actually, they even ask when me and Taz do our question and answers every Friday, and they're like, "Well, I want to delegate or I want to invest in something," and and I always say, "Not financial advice." No, but I'm like, the only stuff. There's like 2 projects that I delegate to. Well, there's more, but the 2 main ones, I'm like Leo Voter and Brofi, and it's a long long hold, long investment delegation thing. And because I think I know how you tick, and you kind of align with the same type of mentality that Task and I are always talking about this is not for tomorrow. This is for 5 years down the road. This is for 6-7 years down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you think about it, if we've got a 300,000 delegation for Brofi as it is, and then we've also got 300,000 HP, because I'm not selling that HP, I'm just keeping it there. So we're growing that thing into a monster, and that will become a monster. I'm just paying that out of my own pocket. So that's going to be really exciting in the future. Not right now. Not right now. It's sort of exciting, but maybe in about 2 years that's going to be really exciting.
You know what, man? Maybe
if I could jump
sorry,
in,
go ahead.
John,
Yeah, yeah.
why 2 years? What is your view over the next 24 months? Is there something that triggers it, or is that just a number used? Is there a basis for that number?
Well, I've worked out how much HP we're growing every year, and it's no, what is it? Oh man, I had the figures right in front of me. Now I look dumb. Sorry, guys.
But there's a mathematical reason you came up with that 2 years based.
Oh
upon...
yes,
okay.
absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, in the first 2 years, I think we'll probably reach about 100,000 HP. Hopefully, if you calculate the rise and I mean, it could be anything because we've got about 360,000 HP delegated to us now. That could be more in the future, that could be less. So it's just a risky guess, really. But if it stays the way as it is now, then it's going to be fun.
Let's rewind, because I know this is your third time on here, but there's, we got a lot of viewers here that might not be familiar with what you have when we're talking bro fund and brofi. Maybe your elevator pitch of what that is and why I'm always talking about it, you're always talking about it, everyone in the man cave talks about it. Maybe a quick little overview.
So basically, bro, which is our main token, is a sort of investment token, not financial advice, by the way.
And not a security, Mr. SEC.
No, not a security. No. This is our entertainment purposes only
token. Any money you distribute, we all give back and make it all zero at the end. So it's nobody profits off of this.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, you buy bro, and we, in a nutshell, we try to grow your investment and earn you dividends from that. And I'm always looking for new ways and new avenues to do that. Right now, we're actually trialing something new. Is where I contact other Hive projects and lend them my team and just basically give them our help for free to help them along with how they're doing. I'm not very good at elevator pitches. Anyway, sorry, I have to hang on. Yeah, so I give them our team, and we're trialing that out at the moment. We're doing it for free to sort of raise the standard and level of Hive Engine projects out there at the moment. And hopefully when Hive Engine gets busier, we will start charging a price for that. So right now it's like, trial and error. We're seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. But if anyone's watching and they want that service for free, by all means take it, because it is free at the moment. And my team costs a lot of money, believe me.
Very nice. So what's your overall, your finger on the pulse, let's say, of this blockchain specifically? I know you do mess with other crypto, but this is your home. And
this is my home. This will always be my home. I really like this blockchain. It's a blockchain for builders. It's just like everything on it is designed to build and out always in different ways. I mean, Taskmaster said that beautifully last time I was on, when he said that Hive, you're not even going to know that you're on the Hive blockchain. That's the way it should be eventually. I'm still very pro Hive. I could still see Hive going crazy. I mean, we're experiencing, everybody's licking their wounds from we're obviously in the bear market now. Those of us that have been here for a long time now understand that. So yeah, we're just sort of all licking our wounds at the moment. But I could see this blockchain going. This is going to be a top 10 blockchain. Maybe not now, but in the next 5-10 years. This is like the time to build is now. This is the time to buy tokens is now in the bear market. This is when people become millionaires is right now. Now is the time when everybody's scared and screaming and running around and going, oh no, I've lost all my money. That's when you buy it up all cheaply.
Well, and also I think it's a good time, and we always talk about this, John, about having your 4, 5, 6 projects that are your core holdings. And this is a time where maybe take some of the other stuff that you're not so optimistic about, dump those tokens and put them into your core holdings, add to your position, because when the bull market takes off, odds are if your core projects are strong, they are going to increase a lot more than these other holdings, which are more lottery tickets. And, that's where I think when I look at the Bro, I look at the Leo, I look at the CTP. I mean, of course, you got your Hive and your Hive HBD. But when you start to look at these different projects, that's where I think, because they're developing, because I know people are building and doing different things, as we come out of it, and depending on how long this sucker lasts, it may be a situation where come next bull run, yes, the tide lifts all boats. But the ones that really excel are the ones that are going to be building at this time. And we had Neil McSpadden on last Tuesday, and he talked about SPS and the building. And, obviously you guys mentioned Splinterland, but what's going on there and how over the next few years that token, in his estimation, really has great potential because of all the things taking place with that. And that's something I don't think most newer crypto users, actually even older crypto users, I don't think they look at things that way, because they're always looking for the quick hit. What can I buy today that'll triple by next Thursday?
Yeah, and that's totally the wrong way to look at it, because I've noticed a lot of people they'll get into the FOMO, and when the FOMO goes up, and they'll always, because I used to do it myself, I used to get into the FOMO and I always got wrecked. I always got wrecked during the FOMO, and I've realised that I think a good project is twofold. Is you need to also look at the team as well. So it's not. I mean, you could have the best idea in the world, but if you haven't got a team that's going to stick through the mud, then, I mean, we were in a. I got the Bros and I got all the dragons in a project a couple of months back. And the project started, and we're all excited, and it folded within a couple of weeks. It was like, what the hell, And so you have to look at these things, and you have to look: are they going to fall at the slightest road bump, or are they going to see challenges and overcome them? And if their token's doing really not good, you got to look in at that, and you got to say, well, maybe this might actually be doing good in the future, and that's when you buy.
Yeah, I think that the team is. I mean, as you said, there's not everything that doesn't work out is a scam, although everybody wants to call that. A lot of times, it's just people don't have the expertise to. I mean, they have a valid idea, but they just don't. They don't have the resources to pull it off, whether it's financial, whether it's talent. And I mean, that's why, like John and I were talking about on Friday with CTP, the team is there. It's just small, but at least it's there. I mean, Blaine knows how to code. His time is limited. He's working a full-time job, but at least it's there. And so if you're patient, you say, okay, maybe it's not on the time frame I want, but at least I know it's there. Whereas you look at other projects, and it's like, okay, somebody threw together, and there's one that on the top of my head that I don't want to say to disparage, but I like the idea of the project. The problem is there's no developer around. So where is that really going to go? Because there still is the technical angle. So you need that. And that's where whether you look at the base layer with block trades and Howoo, whether you look at anything Mark's involved in because he's a developer, or when you look at Leo Finance, you look at Bro, you look at CTP, and there's others out there that have their developers, some of the games, and they have their own development people. Splinterlands, obviously, with Yaba and other developers that are in there. That's what the important thing is, because a lot of this still requires that infrastructure to be built, and that's technical.
Oh, I totally agree with that. I got nothing else to add to that. That was really that quite encompasses everything that I was thinking there.
Yeah, it's almost being stubborn about it. Like I always joke around when I'm talking to people, like, I don't have a plan B. And yes, Blaine just said in chat he's full-time soon. He is. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So
I spoke a lot to Blaine the other week, and he said he was coming full-time. So I bet you're excited about that.
Oh, dude, I'm beside myself, and the stuff we've got, coming up is just going to be great. It's tough. Like Tass said, like we have the team. It's a small team of 3 of us. We love what we do. We show up every day, but it doesn't go at the pace that everyone, expects. Just like you said, Raymond, I think it was, or you were Tass, or like they want to see it go to the moon in 3 weeks or less. And if it's not, it's a scam. It's like, no, we've been here since basically day one. We're not going anywhere, and we're stubborn about it. And I think that's a different mentality. That's an entrepreneurial mentality.
That's what I was about to say. That's a business person's mindset.
Not an investor in crypto mindset.
Yeah, right? That's what separates you guys. That's what separates, they call me Dan, that separates Starkers. People who've owned businesses understand what it's like to build a business. And it doesn't happen overnight, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's an MLM, down chain, affiliate marketing, a retail outlet, Tesla. It doesn't matter what it is. It takes time.
Well, that's I can say that when I first started, I had great aspirations for Cine TV. I still do now, but when I first started that, I thought I could run it on a shoestring with zero development whatsoever. And I got a kick in the face with that one. I realized that this tribe actually needs a lot of people to run it and a lot of money to put on it. Now I was quite lucky. I struck gold this rush. And I put a lot of my money in Sound TV now. So we've got like a team of 8 there now. So when that is released, and I've been absolutely told not to, by my developer, under pain of death, not to give any release dates. So I can't do that. John probably knows what that's like.
Just be like Cal. Soon. It's in the Sooniverse. It'll be soon.
Well, I could probably say it'll be this year. I'll definitely be this year, but I'm not allowed to give any dates. He strictly warned me about that.
See, it's funny because as I've been building out the last couple months, Leo Glossary, I go back to our conversations in the early days with Cine TV, and when we were talking about IMDb, and here's a perfect way for taking IMDb type content and building it on Hive and using the decentralized database under the Cine TV URL, which then could help Cine TV in the long run to get web traffic, because all of a sudden you have a database of all these actors and the movies that he or she has been in, the films, what it's about, a synopsis, all this other stuff. And that's really, it's taken time with Leo Finance, obviously, and building like an Investopedia type thing. But that's one thing Hive offers that you can't get elsewhere, because we have the capability of not only having a ledger of transactions, but of text, of immutable text, and putting this data on the blockchain so that it can start ranking in the search engines and be a resource for people. I mean, I'd much rather go to Cine TV to look at what movies Brad Pitt was in than IMDb. I mean, I'd much rather visit that.
I'll tell you something. Task is great at putting ideas in your mind. I was like full of I was brimming with excitement. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do all this in Cine TV. And then I got it kicked off, and I was like, right, okay, so how am I going to do it? Oh, I need a developer for that. Oh, I need a manager for that. Oh, Christ. So, but yeah, we're brimming with ideas now.
You sent me a full text document of ideas. It was impressive.
Yeah, it's just nice.
Yeah, it's now at the bottom of John's bird's cage.
No, just plain white paper on the bottom of the bird cage.
I noticed Blaine says don't say nothing up there. What's he saying? Don't say nothing
About time frames.
Yeah, he says, yeah. He's like, because he says to me, like, dude, like, I'm going to show you something, but you can't tell anyone. And I'm not good with secrets, man. Like, I like if it's something that I'm really excited about, I have to tell people or I hint at it.
You sound like John, the relationship I have with me and my team.
John, that's one. You say, hey, we have this, and it's going to be out in September. That's what
that's the problem. Yeah.
You say, we'll have it in September probably, or worse, October.
Well, Raven just said like timelines, right? And I mean, like we did this great old timeline for the CTP token and everything we were doing with CTP. I did an update a couple weeks ago. Everything was a year, like a year delayed. We had the 2021; it became the 2022 timeline.
I think, but the main thing is you're getting it done. That's the difference.
Yeah, man.
Because like a lot of people will just give up on that. They'll just be like, "Oh, this is too long," and then get rid of it. So,
what's very encouraging, or actually not encouraging, what's very informative is the fact that when we look at, John, close your ears, Ethereum, and I mean, nobody's going to deny that Ethereum has some crackerjack developers and that there's a lot of people over there working on that stuff who know what they're doing. And how long have they been working on this merge? How many times have they delayed it? And this stuff is slow. And even as they're getting closer, nobody really knows what's going to blow up till they flip the switch and go live. And I guarantee you there's going to be a bazillion bugs that are going to like just come storming out that they're going to have to address. So I think people in crypto and Hive in particular need to be a little bit more patient and a little bit more forgiving with any project team that has developers and any development, because this shit is not easy. And, any developer will tell you that they can try to testnet everything and plan it for everything and address everything. But the real fun begins when they go live. And then it's like, oh, shit, well, look at those 8 things that we broke. And then the problem is they fix one thing and it breaks 8 others. And, that's just the way development goes from what I can see. So I think everybody needs to take a step back and say, hey, if you want to bitch and moan about it, go take a quick coding course and see how easy it is. It's not very...
I found that out with Bro right at the start. I'll tell you that right now. We had this fantastic idea, and we had this. You were right at the start as well. And the amount of problems we ran into at the start. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I know that all too well. You launch something, you have this great idea, it's going to go perfect, and then there's a problem. Cry. There's a problem. Oh man, God.
Yeah. Dude, well, I mean, that comes to the entrepreneurial thing. I mean, being in my background of product launches and all that stuff, like that was the urban legend that you'd launch something and then the next 12 hours you were fixing all the bugs.
Yeah.
But like in crypto, you're not allowed to have any mistakes, apparently. If you have any bugs in crypto, it's like, end of the world.
Well, and then there's also the other entrepreneurial dilemma where it sounds real good in our heads, but then when you go live, it's like all of a sudden the feedback from the market is, well, that was a stupid freaking idea. And you have to make adjustments and changes on the go. And that's just how it is. You have to have some flexibility. And what you were talking about 6 months ago, it's like, well, we scrapped that idea and we came up with something we think is better. But guess what? We won't know for another 3 months till we put it out there and we get everybody's feedback. I mean, that's just how things work.
I've had to do that a few times myself. Actually, I've thought about things and I said, right, to my community, right, I'm going to release this. This is a really good idea, and they've just totally ripped the crap out of me. So I've had to ditch it, which is fine. I mean, it's their coin. So,
dude, it happens constantly. I'll come up with these ideas for these little challenges, try to get the community all pumped up and excited. Some of them that I never think are going to go great. And then the ones that I'm so excited about, like this whole Thrive on Hive challenge that we did the past couple of weeks. Like, I was so pumped up for it. We gave out a gold foil legendary card in Splinterlands.
Oh, wow.
We were given tons of prizes out. We had about 5 people take part. It's just like, you never know what's going to be a hit.
Yeah, that's true.
You just got to keep swinging, man, because the next one might be a smash, and you just keep going. You just keep showing up.
Oh, by the way, can I change the subject for a second? If you look up the top there, there's the Papa Crusher. I just shout out to him because he's the one that manages Cine TV for me. So if you ever want to know more about Cine TV, I only know an overview about what's happening. But if you ever get him on, if you ever want to know the in-depth strategies and the things that he's working on about, he's your man.
Cool. And he also said here, he said, Ray makes me look good. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, it really comes down to, unfortunately what John was saying, and I know you get the same thing, Raymond. It doesn't matter what you look at. Cine TV, Bro Fund, Leo, CTP, STEM Geeks, Hive in general. It doesn't matter where you go. There's a certain group of people, John, the Jimmies of the world, who just throw themselves into stuff and are always busy. And then there's other people who are just parasites. They just try to milk off the host. They don't contribute a whole lot. They sit there, bitch and moan and say, when am I going to get this? When am I going to get this? And my answer is, well, when are you going to do something? And these projects, it's not like there's not plenty of opportunity to step in and fill roles, because every single project on Hive, probably every single project in crypto, has plenty of room for people. There's more roles and more tasks and more jobs to be done than there are people. And, it's like, who's going to step up and do this instead of saying, well, when's Raymond going to do this? When's Sean's going to do this? I mean, and that's what people do. When's Cal going to get this done?
I'm really quite lucky with Bro Fund, actually, is because a lot of the big owners take quite a bit of ownership of it. So, for example, Marky, he even gets involved with their team. He's like the biggest bro owner, and he even gets involved with our team and gives us suggestions and things like that. And all the other dragons are always posting questions to me as well. So, not posting, giving me suggestions no, I can't say that. But they're really involved. So, or most of them are. So, it's quite good. The people that have a lot of bro are quite involved in what I do, and that also means that I get stamped on quite a lot as well. But that's fair enough. That's all part of the game. Trial and error, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to see. I mean, the one thing that I really noticed about, the man cave and your Discord is that, people have a vested interest in seeing it succeed.
Yes.
And I think that's because you attract, and maybe you can touch on that too. This is, a little bit of advice, because building community is tough. Building community, like everyone says, oh, you need a community, you need this. It's a lot easier said than done. What are a couple of things that you would suggest to someone that's saying, okay, I want to build a Discord community, a project. I'm looking at building on Hive, but the big thing is I want to start a community. I want them to have a vested interest in this and see it really grow. What would you say a couple of tips for someone starting out?
Okay, so from what I've found throughout the 2 years that I've had Bro is, okay, so you've got a solid project, you want to take it to the world, you want to start a community and get people invested in the coin. Is just be honest and transparent. That's it. And just be yourself. Don't try and bullshit. Don't try and, because like, you have to realize that there's probably people on that Discord that are 1,000 times smarter as you, and they'll have bots hooked up checking to whatever you're doing, and they will be watching your every single move. So there's just no hiding. Just be honest, transparent, down the line with what you're going to do, and you'll attract the same people that are like that, really. And that's what I've found anyway. It's like honesty, transparency, loyalty, and I guess another big thing is loyalty to my investors as well. Like I would probably make choices that would benefit my investors more than it would benefit me. So I think when they see things like that, then that is returned, if that makes sense. So I'm sort of more loyal with them than I am myself. Like, for example, when we first started, I seen an opportunity to buy Leo miners, but we didn't actually have enough money in the Bro Fund, so I bought it out of my own money and just gave it to the fund. And it's that kind of loyalty that sort of all those things. I mean, there are obviously bad points to me as well, but I try not to focus on those. Like, in very disorganized, but we won't get into that.
Dude, you don't have your pad of paper, like all the, like
no.
That's how I'm organized. If I lose that pad, I'm done. So
it's like my wife completely organizes me. Just like trust, honesty, loyalty to your investors. Be yourself on your Discord. Don't try to be anyone else. Just do it from the heart, and you'll attract the same people that are like you. That's how I've always built my communities. Well, it's really the first community I've really had, but that's how I do it.
Well, it's because, like, this is one of the things Task and I always talk about why we love Hive so much is it's not the price of it. It's it's the community, the development, the use case, and community behind the username. And I know there's a lot of bots, I get it, but behind the usernames, there's actual people. And when you just said that about you worry more about the people in your community before you think about you, that's putting people first. And that's something in crypto. Everyone says they have a community on Twitter. Like, why? Because they want to see the price of that token, whatever they're invested in, go to the moon, right? They're not worried about the other people in it. They're not worried.
Or they want to get more subscribers on their YouTube channel so they get YouTube money.
Right. But this is what's unique. And, not only Bro, I'm talking Hive also as a whole, is that there's real people here and there's relationships, and you can't have a community without that. And I just love watching what's going on in the man cave, because it's true community. It's the actual lifeblood of this stuff that sometimes gets overlooked.
And a lot of people say that we're it's a bit too crass in there and it's a bit too crazy. But in actual, I let them be like that, because then I get their true feelings out. So it's like, they don't feel like they need to be someone else to get something going. Like, if they think the coin's going terrible, they will tell me and they will have no problems with that. And that's why I've created that. I've created that feeling that they could say anything that they want to. And obviously, if you say stupid things, then you get shot down for it. But that's that's the thing. But people feel like they can say what they feel. I hope that I create that anyway. I hope that's my vision. Or at least if they can't say it in my community, they could at least feel like they could DM me and say that to me as well. So
I try to stay out of your DMs, man. You know?
You're always in my DMs.
I know. All the time. We're always talking about something. Yeah. That's why, like Tass said before we came on, he's like, I haven't really sent a note to Raymond. I hope he remembered that we're doing this show today. And I'm like, well, I'm always talking to him. I don't think I mentioned the show, but we're always going back and forth about something. But
no, I'm a bit more organized now. I have a project manager now, so he's always like, he takes all the stuff that I don't want to do away from me, so my mind's less uncluttered. So it's good.
My Path to Fire wants to know: is there swearing in the man cave?
Oh, lots of swearing. A lot of swearing. Lots and
a lot of it
lots
comes from the women too.
Yeah, that's right. And we criticize and we laugh at people and we do lots of stuff, but at the end it's their true nature, and that's what matters, really. I don't agree with being nice to each other if you hate each other, you know. I want people's true nature to come out, and that's how it is. I want the truth. I don't like lies. I hate it.
Well, I like you, man. I wouldn't smack talk you, man.
Well, Blaine has no problem being very forthright with John about how he feels about him. So,
yes, I'm definitely the punching bag. It's okay.
the love is not in the air, John.
Well, no, like, I mean, this is actually, it's a good thing to talk about, because I'm gonna say Bray. I'm saying Raymond and Bro together. Bray. Raymond is like the face of Bro. He's the guy who's out there, talks to people. He's on the show now. It's the same with like me. I'm out there in front of people. So, you know, in my previous career, I was always the face of the franchise, let's say, and I got thrown under the bus consistently. You know, a lot of people could sit back, the developers, the designers, these guys could, not now, but I'm saying in the past, they could sit back and not get the lumps, but that's part of the job description. When you say you want to be a content creator, someone who's out there in the public, you're going to get lumps, and it's kind of
you're going to take it for your entire team as well. So it's like you're the one that takes it. You're the face, so you get John, the punches.
It also took you 15 months to invite Blaine on air.
Well, yeah, but like me and Blaine are on camera all the time. I mean, he's, you know, Blaine shows up. He's not.
But you didn't bring him on CryptoManiacs, which is the highest rated podcast out there next to Joe Rogan.
It is. We have 17 million listeners now, each and every time. So, it's.
So what's the plan for the next, and not to pin you to the wall on time frames, but what would you say the roadmap is for the next, let's say, 12 months, if you can give us some general highlights?
Okay, so we've pretty much completed our projects. I gave remember when I released our white paper on your podcast last time? Well, we've pretty much completed that. All for the community, but we're sort of creating a community in our team Discord anyway. But I want to get. I've only got like one thing left to do, and I'd projected like, I think it was October, November to finish this, but it's all. I mean, everything's almost done. So we're ahead on the Bro part of the roadmap. Next thing for Bro. Coming up maybe next year, I'm not really sure, but I am thinking about releasing a new token. And once we stop development on Cine, we'll be looking at development on Bro. So I'll be like building lots of other utilities for Bro, and we'll have a token which can use all three of these games and utilities. That's my next roadmap, where I only say games and utilities because I want to be very vague, and I also I don't want to be pinned to the wall on anything, as you say. So that's for the next 12 months with Bro. As well as if Splinterlands Lands gets released New Year next year, then dividends will make a remarkable uptick because I plan to give out most of the dividends. I'm taking a little bit for myself to pay myself back for what I put into Splinterlands, but most of the dividends will be going to Bro holders. So I'm hoping dividends next year are going to be phenomenal. So that's that. BroFi self-explanatory. That's probably just going to gather momentum. Cine TV, new front end this year, hopefully. Next year we'll be working again on utility and games. I will be looking at an economy for Cine TV as well. So like, I don't just want it to be a place where you write and get paid for it, because when you write and get paid for it, then I've seen it so many times before. You just take that payment and then change it into real money, and then there's no like incentive to hold it. So I'm planning on a nice little economy for Cine TV as well. So that's in the next year. But yeah, so that's what's coming up next. Like I said on my roadmap, I'm planning on creating deep economies.
I got a question for you.
Go on then.
We've got an event coming up here that's close to you. Not necessarily next to you, but it's close to you.
What do you mean by close?
Netherlands close.
Oh, what? The thing. Are you talking about High Fest? Yeah, my wife's unwell. I can't make it. I sadly can't make it. I would have been going to that, but my wife's unwell. So it's not the fact that I can't go out on my own or anything without my family. It's just like, if I left her here, she wouldn't be able to take care of my son. So
Right.
I always have to be here. We're hoping it'll be different next year when she gets the proper treatment.
Nice.
So.
Okay. Yeah, because
I'm hoping to travel all over the world, because like I got money now, and there's places and people that I need to meet and make deals with and things like that. So,
I hope the next High Fest is over here, because it's been in Asia, it's been in Europe for 4 years now, 4 years. I'd love for it to be over here, so you'd have an excuse to come over to this side of the pond. You know.
Are you in Canada?
I'm in Canada, yes, sir.
Canada.
Yeah, well, we're not allowed to do anything here because we got this guy running the country here, so we need to have certain handshakes and stuff to be able to get across borders and stuff. So we won't get into politics or anything.
No, I will not talk about my politics on podcast. If you want to hear about my politics, join the Command Cave.
Perfect.
You'll get to hear about it there. I don't want to be recorded talking about politics.
Yeah.
Because you know what they're like. They'll snap me and they'll go, "Oh, white supremacist." Anyway, that should give you an idea.
Yeah, man. So what are you most excited about other than Bro, obviously, and Cine? What's got your attention these days on Hive as a whole? Second layer stuff, like what are you kind of sitting there going, this is exciting?
I don't know if
You're
I'm
not
allowed to talk about it.
You're not allowed.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I just work here, man.
Yeah, I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it. Let's just say I talked to someone who said that something was getting released, and I got quite excited about it. So I'm waiting on that coming out. Not giving any hints at all.
Jeez, trying to get some juicy stuff from him, Task. I mean,
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I liked Woo. Woo Online's got my attention at the moment. As like Splinterlands is normal, that's always got my attention. But Woo's got my attention at the moment, and I'm looking into that
What about somebody mentioned Ragnarok. I mean, Rising Star seems people are writing about that on Leo Finance and CyberX. What are your thoughts on those three? Do you have any?
Rising Star we play. I've got an account and I have someone that plays it for us. What was the other one? CyberX.
Ragnarok and CyberX.
CyberX I've not really looked into yet. Ragnarok.
It's not released, obviously. That's just Dan's.
Yeah, I have looked. I was looking into it. There seems to be some sort of tokens that you could get to buy the pre-sale packs or something like that. I've looked a little into it, but I didn't really have the liquidity to do. Like, I usually like to have the liquidity there because if I get excited, then I could just buy straight away instead of going, you know. So when I'm skinned, I don't like too much. Otherwise, that's bad news. You might find I might swap one token for another, and that shouldn't happen. So.
Yeah, I FOMO into things and I end up selling Splinterlands cards in the process.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm the same. So that's why I know I shouldn't look up things like that when I've got no liquidity. So I only really do real research when I've got a bit of liquidity behind me to buy something. Otherwise, it's going to end up badly.
What's your view on, harkening back to last Tuesday's conversation, what's your view on SPS?
I think it's a good buy. I mean, we're not technically buying it. We're winning it by the bucket load at the moment, but it's doing us well. And I think, I mean, I can't really make a description, but I think it's going higher. I really do think it's going higher than it is now. I mean, if I'm being realistic, I think, yeah.
Do you think the Splinterlands group or company's partnership with like MLS and some of this, and the idea of building more games, do you think that will help SPS?
Oh yeah, any sort of partnership, utility, and any sort of way to get SPS on other platforms. Oh, definitely. I've not read that announcement yet, so I didn't know that, but I knew they were partnered with Warner's Music, so that was like, wow, you know. Can you just imagine
they're partnering with MLS to create a game for a soccer football over in your neck of the woods game that allows them to use the images and the names of the actual players. They got an agreement from the Players Association. Oh, wow. And so they're developing that. And from what we understand, it will use, and John, correct me if I'm wrong, but it'll use Hive account to sign in to play the game. And SPS somehow will be tied to it. I'm not quite sure how. It's separate from Splinterlands.
It's like the airdrop. Yeah, it's going to be airdrop.
Oh, the airdrop. That's
SPS
what it is.
holders. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
They announced a lot of stuff today. I mean, Rift Watchers is 9 days away, and then they just announced that on September 20th, the pre-sale packs or something for their tower defense game is coming out.
Tower defense. Oh man.
Yeah, this is the past hour they've announced this stuff. So
that is literally a game I will play. As a tower defense
they got a town hall coming up in a little bit here, where they'll officially announce it. But, you know, everyone's Bulldog's on Twitter right now just losing his mind with excitement. So, I mean,
well, I'll tell you, the bros will be in for that. I'll be buying us a nice old chair into that as well. So, and I could probably play the tower defense game myself because I love that. Might even get my kid to play it.
Yeah, that's cheap labor, man. Just get your kid to play it.
We had a very interesting outlook applied to us last week from Neil, which I like it, and I kind of agree with it, and I want to get your view on it. Basically, his view on crypto is this thing's going to explode and we're all going to be wealthy, or it's just going to implode and we're going to all be broke and have zero. I mean, he kind of looks at it as, you know, cryptocurrency, people are going to start turning away from governments, turn away from central banks, turn away from the existing system. And if that sentiment takes hold, we're going to all be in the golden chair. But if it doesn't happen, then we're just all spinning our wheels, chasing our tails. What are your thoughts?
I have a bit of a different view. I think it's like if I could describe it, it's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It's like it started a momentum that can't be stopped. That's what it feels like to me. It's like, the banks now, it's like the banks started getting pro crypto. Now they're not getting crypto. They aren't in the UK in a way. They're like, oh yeah, it causes fraud, blah blah. It's like, well, they used to, fraud was 100% in pounds before that. So I mean, you can't really give that as an excuse. But I mean, it's causing the people who want to control everything a lot of problems actually. And I think eventually it's going to be like the internet. Rather than try and stop it, they're going to have to get involved with it, and then they're going to have to try and control it in some way, like we're seeing now with, you can go out in the street and just shout a load of obscenities, but if you do it on the internet, then there's like 100 people shouting you down and stuff like that. So I think they're going to try, and I think they will. I think it will explode, and the people that are in it now, I think we are going to be king of the hill, and because businesses, not businesses, but institutions are in it now. It's like you got Elon Musk in it now. You got all these big companies who announced that they were holding Bitcoin. So next it's regular businesses, and then after that it's mom and pop shops, and after that, you two, we're like in our private islands, in our deck chairs,
sipping with little tiny umbrellas in the drinks, right?
Yeah, sipping very expensive champagne.
You said you think it's going to explode.
I do, yeah.
What do you think will be? And there's two different ways to look at this. People look at it from Wall Street, financial, monetary, which that's what gets everybody's attention. But there's another way to look at this with the tokenization within games, within projects, within incentivization layer, like the Speak Network is doing with infrastructure. There's a lot of different levels to cryptocurrency that I don't think most people look at. When you say you think it's going to explode, what do you think is going to be the impetus for that? Is it just going to be a financial bull market? Is it going to be gaming? What do you see as the impetus that says all of a sudden we wake up one day and it's like, holy shit, what happened?
I can't really tell. I don't really know. But in saying that, I was an internet user like back in 1996. Like I was using the internet when it really wasn't cool to use the internet. It was a dirty secret of mine. And then just one day I woke up and like people who just didn't have any interest in the internet and was called me a geek all my life suddenly was like, look, Raymond, I can do this on the internet. With their smartphones, and it was Apple, and it was that guy, what, I forget his name, that Apple guy brought the internet to the world. And it's just like overnight everybody was like, being a geek is trendy and sexy now apparently for a girl. But when I grew up, being a geek was not something that you wanted to be.
Got your ass kicked for it.
Yeah, you got your head flushed down toilets for being a geek. If you were a geek, you had to hide that shit. No, you just like.
And if you couldn't, you were just, oh well, that person's a geek, but he'll probably end up running the world anyway because he'll be in Bill Gates, and we all knew it, so we beat him up because
exactly. So yeah. But then one day we woke up and everybody had the internet, and suddenly it was cool to have the internet. I think.
Well, but the internet,
going to be,
at least over here, I don't know how it was over there, But the big kicker over here was email. And that's what really got people on, because they didn't know really anything else. But it got to the point where, because of communication, so many people are saying, do you have an email address? Do you have an email address? When you're asked 25 times, finally you go get a damn email address from Yahoo, or what was the other one, John? Hotmail or whatever.
Man. Hotmail made it trending.
So then people couldn't do anything other than check email, but at least they were checking email. And then from there, they morphed and they got into other things. And, then you got certain things come on. And then, of course, Facebook rolled out a few years after that, in, I think, 2004, 2005. And that really kicked off the social media age.
Well, that's a great thing with capitalism. If you look at the trend there, the trend that you just talked about, when everybody got an email, what was it? It was businesses that required you to use email, wasn't it? It's like, I think businesses are going to start using crypto. And then that's when someone will come along and they'll want to make money, and they'll have this idea and they'll create this killer app. And then suddenly, crypto's no longer fake anymore. You're no longer classed as sitting in your basement with your fake money anymore. So I think that's what's coming.
Yeah, we'll be sitting on John's yacht that was paid for B and listener tokens.
Bro, the yacht right now is it's a rubber dinghy. Okay,
in your bathtub. I understand.
My bathtub. Yeah. Kids wanted a pool this summer. We got the inflatable version. So temper expectations task. We got to build this stuff first, though.
With my day and age, you wanted a pool. It was like you were handing the garden hose and the sprinkler and say, there you go.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. That's where you got your drinking water, too. Now everything's in. Yeah, anyways. Back in my day, old man yelling at clouds,
Hey,
dude.
I'm old enough to remember life before smartphones, the internet, and personal computers. So
I am too.
Yeah,
I wasn't. The internet didn't actually come around until 1994, and I was 14 by then. So I'd pretty much grown up almost by then.
Yep.
And I mean, I wasn't using it until I was 16. So
we didn't get cable TV. We couldn't get cable TV where I'd lived till I was a junior in high school. Before that, it was the 5 channels from the antenna on the roof deal.
Yeah, that was the same here. Yeah, we had terrestrial TV right up until I was 14 again. Yeah, 14. Yeah, it was only 4 channels for us, or go out and play.
And I walked uphill both ways to school 3 miles.
Oh yeah, here we go. I used to ride,
back in my day.
Here goes the story.
Back in my day, here.
Back in my day, we just walked barefoot. We didn't even have shoes.
I went to Catholic school. Damn right, we had shoes. We had to wear shoes and ties and jackets and all that shit.
Oh, that's first of all, if you want politics, you got to go to Raymond. If you want the religious talk, we got to go somewhere else too, man. So
Well, I actually went to a Catholic school as well. I got religion rammed down my throat. So,
well, look at where you're at. I mean, good God, in the country you're in. I mean, that's real big over there.
Oh, not anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah, well, it's all faded, but years ago.
Oh yeah, I mean this way.
And then you go to your neighboring country there, Ireland. They're a little serious about their religion there.
Even still now, they are very serious.
They get a little testy about it if you don't have the same views, and some of them are diehards, literally.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
You're in Canada.
Yeah. You're in Canada, it's different.
You guys don't have opinions on anything. You're like Portugal.
You're just like sorry for having for having an opinion.
You guys are just trying to stay warm most of the year.
Dude, like we were like, the story of the summer, me and my family, because of the construction and all the drama we had in the basement and getting it redone, we had to get into the RV. And this week, it was so cold at night, we had to come back in the house. So summer's officially done here in Canada.
Oh, wow.
We're on the ground here. Yeah.
What did it
I'm
drop down
jealous.
to, John?
A couple degrees above freezing overnight. Not during the day. During the day, it's nice and pleasant and sunny, but at night, it's 4 degrees Celsius. So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. 4 to
Well,
30,
freezing here is 32.
32. So it's 38, I guess, aroundish. It was overnight.
I'm jealous because it's been like a heat wave here for the last 2 months. We haven't had any rain whatsoever.
Oh, we had the heat wave on the weekend, but it's overnight. It's just, anyways.
Please, some rain and cold. I'm Scottish. I've got pink skin. I'm not ready for this.
Same with me,
I'm
man.
not
I
built
mean,
for this.
You're Scottish too?
You know I'm Scottish.
Dude, it's always a pleasure having you on and talking shop. Just, love bro and love everything you're doing, and I'm looking forward to living on the yacht now because of the
Me
bro
too.
holding and everything. So
How much bro do you have
I
now?
want a yacht based upon just the dividends of bro. I don't want to have to sell my holdings to get it. I just want the dividends to accumulate so I can buy a yacht.
Well, that's coming next year. I mean, we're paying out dividends in Hive now, and I'm trying to work that out, but it's going. I mean, the dump and we're in the bear market now, so I'm struggling with that at the moment. But I think in the next few months it'll get better, and then next year, if Splinterlands has lands released, then get ready for craziness, because that is all going to dividends. That's not going. None of that's going on building. That's all going on dividends. And you guys will be like, "Holy crap!" I'm lucky. I'm glad I got into it, bro.
good to hear, man. Thanks for coming, man, and
thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you stopping by, sharing with us everything you're doing and what you're up to, and big shout out to the Man Cave, the bro community. You guys keep us on our toes. I know that for sure. So, have a great day, and thank you guys for all listening in.
Thank you very much.